Hi, my name's Tony from the Nerd of Godcast, and I was wrong. I was terribly, terribly wrong. So when I first saw the promo for the Nintendo Switch, I was kind of on the fence on whether or not it was something impressive or something regressive. And I wasn't 100% sure I was ready to throw down $300 for a DS without the second screen that could plug into my television that I could play Skyrim on again.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
And then they showed me Breath of the Wild, and my interest was piqued. Now, I am an original Zelda fan. All the way back, gold cartridge, baby. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. I'm a purist. So for me, the first Zelda, that's my Zelda. That's my story. Back when there was only 2 Triforces, you know, that's how old school I am. But when I saw Breath of the Wild, I realized that this was like nothing else I'd ever seen. I was a little nervous because changing the game from 2D to a side-scroller with The Adventure of Link, changing it to a 3D game with Ocarina of Time, making it a time travel adventure. I mean, there's a lot of things that kind of took Zelda out of the box and away from its original roots. Breath of the Wild is like no Zelda game that has ever come before it. And at first, I cried foul. I said, "Not my Zelda." And then I played it. And an amazing thing happened. I rediscovered the joy, I rediscovered the simple innocence, I rediscovered my imagination being captured by a Zelda game for the first time since I was 10 years old. As I began playing this game, my first few steps into this brave new world, this open world Hyrule, sprawling hills, mountaintops, and valleys ahead of me, a big open sky going as far as the eye can see, I began to discover with a sense of wonder, I am Link. I can do things because I think that would be cool to do, and I try it and I can do it. Some game developer somewhere said, wouldn't it be cool if you could just chop down this tree? I chopped down a tree fell over, boom! I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if you could climb that tree and get that apple? I did it. How do I get to the top of that mountain? You climb the mountain. It's a game of possibilities. And I think that's something that video games have a very difficult time nailing down anymore. The more I began to play, the more I began to discover elements of other games that have captured my heart since that time. You know, Zelda was kind of the beginning. It was sort of my genesis into adventuring into video games. Before that, every game, it was a quarter in the slot, and you just try to get the high score. But Zelda changed the game. And here we are, 30 years later, they're changing the game again. Now, from that time, I've fallen in love with other games. Games like Portal, games like Skyrim, games where they challenge you to explore the perceptions of the world around you and to try new things. That's not a Zelda game. But then along comes Breath of the Wild, where they take these elements from all of these other games that have captured my heart since the time I was a child, and they just roll them together in a big, doughy, gamey ball and slam them down into a Zelda-shaped mold. It's all the things I love, shaped like the thing that I loved first. So, I'm not going to spoil any plot points. I'm not going to give away anything because it's something you really should experience. And I admit, I hated on it at first. I said, not so much. But this is the game that's going to change the way that you see the world of Hyrule. This is the game that's going to change the way that you see the adventures of Link. And this is going to be the game that recaptures your heart and your imagination and the hearts and imaginations of a whole new generation of Zelda fans. So, I admit it, I was wrong. Now, I'm playing on the Wii U, full disclosure. I didn't go out and buy a Nintendo Switch, partially because I can't find a Nintendo Switch at this time, but I didn't know if it was really worth justifying an entire purchase of a console to experience this game. So I stayed up late one night, kind of tested it out, played it a little bit. The next day I woke up, drove into the office, and all I could think about was Zelda. And suddenly, the Switch clicked for me. I went, if I had a Switch, I could have brought it with me. And I said, darn it, Nintendo, once again, you got me. You got me. So, Without spoiling anything, I do say Breath of the Wild, amazing experience. Just one thing after the next thing after the next thing. You will be engaged, you will be entranced, and you will be taken away to a land far away that you've never experienced before. But still, it seems very familiar. It gets my highest endorsement. We're going to go ahead and give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heart containers out of 5. You must play this game. It is a masterpiece of video game creation. If you are still watching this and you don't have the game, go out and buy it. If you are still watching this and you do have the game, who am I kidding? You're not watching this, you're playing the game. So go check it out, Breath of the Wild. For all this and more, subscribe to us at Nerd of Godcast on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Nerd of Godcast, or check out our blog at nerdofgodcast.com. We'd love to chat with you, connect with you, and exchange whimsical animated gifts with you. For the Nerd of Godcast, I'm Tony T. We ain't gotta go home, but we gotta go play some more Breath of the Wild.